We're here.
I wish I could give this feeling. I wish I could give this feeling. On the corner.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Podcast. Kel Dansby here with the old man Andreas Hale. Producer Coale, baby, running the show in the back. Look at producer Coale in his new crib. Now I'm like creeping on him. I just want to like see the house in the background. I see the guitars. He got the TV set up. He's ready to go.
It's not perfect, but we're getting there.
Listen, you're not living in a box.
It's true.
So that's good. I'm comforted by this. Like, you never know, man. Cities like LA, New York, you look up, Cole's computer could be in the kitchen right now. The bathtub could be right next to him. You never know what
we'll leave the rest of the imagination
like
of what's
cities.
really close by. We don't know.
So it's great to see Coale all set up in LA. If you guys are out there, if you're looking for a producer extraordinaire, make sure hit up Coale. The man has some time right now. Hit him up before he gets stupid busy again. Because trust me, Coale always gets stupid busy. So it is great, though, to have him back on the boards. Today, we have to start the week off by talking about MMA. Some may have seen that there was a big upset last week's pay-per-view. Maybe. Just, a little upset. We're going to talk about that here in a little while. Dre, this weekend has been crazy, not just because of MMA, but I had a company retreat. So I had to fly out to Bristol to the mothership for 2.5 days. So I've been completely unplugged. I have to catch up on pro wrestling before we talk about that in studio this week. I haven't watched any of my reality TV, like horrible shows. I haven't done shit. I feel like you when you kind of like just are dead to the world some weeks. I'm like, yo, Dre, you watch it? Like, no, I didn't have time. This is the first time. I had no time to watch any of my usual stuff. But I did watch, Dre. I did watch She-Hulk because I am now officially addicted to everything Marvel. Everything.
I haven't watched it yet.
See, Dre watches nothing on time. Again, that's why I'm not talking about She-Hulk today. But he watches zero things on time.
I just finished Hawkeye.
Entire thing play out.
I just finished Hawkeye. I just finished Hawkeye. Now that
it was a little better than I thought it'd be.
Hawkeye started off slow, but it finished fine. But yeah, I don't have time to watch all that shit. I'm catching up. Let's see. I finished Yellow Jackets. I'm catching up on Snowfall. I'm almost done with the recent season of Snowfall. Yeah, man, I don't watch anything on time. I ain't got time for that shit.
I have to watch the new House of the Dragons.
I haven't watched that yet either.
Yeah. That's some shit where I've been ducking spoilers, and even the stuff I read, I have no clue who these people are. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I've seen stupid memes. I was like, I guess I gotta watch the first episode to know how this goes down. But thanks to you for making me a Game of Thrones fan. Now I gotta watch this from the jump. So that I have to catch up on. But since She-Hulk released, there was a bunch of comic book shit on my timeline. I ran across a tweet. I was like, you know what? Producer Coale Baby is around. Dre is around this week. I gotta pick their brains on this tweet. This tweet says the worst superhero movies of all time, but you can only pick one from each row. So now my Microsoft Excel brain says a row is a cross, right? Not a column.
That's the same question.
So we're going left to right, not up and down. That's just how I figured it works. If this is an Excel sheet. One, what is the worst superhero movie of all time? And why is it Blank Man? And I love Blank Man.
Blank Man is not the worst superhero movie of all time. You're not even supposed to take Blank Man serious though. That's why it's not the worst.
Supposed to be bad.
All right, so shitty Superman 3 is trash. Batman and Robin's trash. Elektra is trash. Green Lantern is trash. Catwoman is trash.
Catwoman might be the worst of all time.
Catwoman's pretty fucking bad. I haven't seen Morbius yet, but I know it's on this list. But Electra was really fucking bad. Really bad. Oh my god, it was bad.
Cole, what would you say is the worst? Just off rip.
Son of the Mask. Guys, remember Jamie Kennedy?
Oh my god. That's a superhero movie?
Is The Mask a superhero movie?
I mean,
I guess it's a comic book movie.
It is. So I guess you could do that. I mean,
I've never seen Son of the Mask. The first one was cheesy.
You're not missing much. so you're good there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Batman Robin's bad. It's bad,
it is bad,
but at least like memes came out of it. I mean, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Everyone freeze.
His entire line of dialogue is a meme. So I feel like things like the internet and Twitter have been very good for that movie.
Yes,
but
they
also
had nipples, man.
If you and if you watch it back and then you go, oh God, wait, this was actually a motion picture that they tried to create. So I guess I'll go with that.
Ooh, you know what's a really bad superhero movie? Okay, I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it's so bad that if you go to like any comic book convention and you can find it, they sell it for a ton of money because it's awful. Not the Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan. There's a Fantastic Four movie that came out in, I want to say it was like 1993. It is so fucking bad. Like the thing is made out of like sponge. Like,
yeah,
the special effects were so terrible. I remember seeing this as a kid, and I went to a comic book convention in Vegas, and somebody had it on VHS. They were selling it for like $500 because it's so bad. It's like oh my god, what's the movie? What's the movie? What's the movie that's so bad? They made a movie about how bad it was.
The Disaster Artist.
Yes.
Yeah,
The Room. Yes, it is the Room of superhero movies. It is so so bad. But at least in The Room, you have like there are lines in there that are memorable. No, this Fantastic Four movie is fucking terrible.
The Room is absolutely redeemable because of how bad it is, right? Yeah. Like and because of like the cult that has now come with that, and like everyone will go to like theaters to watch it, and they bring spoons and all that stuff. Like there's like a whole like to craft something out of something that bad. Like when you reach that, I want to call it we have to call it the Mystery Science Theater level, right? There is definitely like a long gray area before you get to Mystery Science Theater level where you are just bad and there's nothing redeemable about you. There are definitely a lot of superhero movies that fall into that category.
Lisa, you're tearing me apart.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Mark.
It's so bad. It's so bad. That movie's so bad.
It's so good. It's so bad.
Yeah. I was gonna say Cole probably loves
I eat that shit up. I mean, Mystery Science Theater is one of my favorite shows of all time. So like anything that can do like that level, like sign me up.
Yeah, Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, that's my worst superhero movie of all time. The thing is
now like, I have to watch it.
It's so bad. The thing is about a lot of these movies, once you get post Iron Man, the special effects kind of redeem some of these movies from their shittiness. Like they can be bad, but they don't look as bad. Like some of them still look bad. But when you get to that
Iron Man 3 is pretty shitty.
No,
even
not compared
with amazing.
But that's what I'm saying. But like you go to pre-2000 superhero movies, like if you watch Superman 3, right? Like watch Superman 3. It is really fucking bad. Because the story's bad, but then the effects just make it even worse. It's trash. So the effects save some of these movies, but that Fantastic Four movie is fucking bad. Same with like those pre-Marvel movies, Elektra, Daredevil. There's a Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren that came out in like the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, that was bad. Yeah. It's not really a superhero movie, but Masters of the Universe. If anybody saw the Dolph Lundgren He-Man movie.
I've seen Masters of the Universe.
So
yeah.
I was so pissed. I was like, where the fuck is Battle Cat? Where's Orko? Why are all these humans running around here? Fucking bad.
Oh, I mean, that same thing. The fucking live action Dragon Ball Z movie that came out like 5 years ago is
God, I keep forgetting
atrocious.
That exists.
Yeah, it is atrocious.
I think we need to keep forgetting that exists.
Oh my God, that is just horrible. All right, so top line here: Morbius, Justice League, Thor, Wonder Woman 84, Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
So is this like you
don't even got to watch Morbius?
So wait, as far as like you're picking one that you want to keep, or you're picking one that's the worst out of all of them?
The worst out of each row.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin was pretty funny. I mean, Wonder Woman 84 wasn't even funny, like enjoyable funny.
but Batman and Robin. I don't even
mean-
need to see Morbius. Batman and Robin is fucking bad.
I would say here's the thing. It's probably the worst in that row, and it's the one I'd probably watch before all those other ones because of how bad it is.
Hands down.
I think.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean,
I
I
think
can still
like
watch
the other
it.
ones I don't want to watch because I'm like, no, I'm bored. Like, and this is just bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thor: The Dark World is bad.
I mean,
Dark World
Justice
is
League was so bad that they had to release. They were like, no, wait, hold on. We got like a 7-hour version of it, and it's better. Anytime,
And it was marginally better.
if your movie has to be 7 hours, it's probably bad. Let's just put that out there.
Definitely. Shit, I gotta go. I gotta go Justice League out of that then.
Nah,
Because Batman and Robin, I watch Wild Wild West still. Like I'll watch Batman and Robin every now and then and laugh my ass off.
Street.
I will not watch Wild Wild West.
It's not a horrible movie. And then Catwoman. Oh, it's right here, Dre. Punisher Warzone.
No, that's not the one with Dolph Lundgren. This
No?
one isn't that bad. It's
Okay.
bad.
This
It's not
Green
this was
Lantern.
this was not the other Punisher that had like John Travolta in it.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Superman 3.
Superman 3. Superman 3 is fucking bad. And Green Lantern's
Is that
terrible.
Richard Pryor?
Yes, it's bad.
Because Richard Pryor.
I mean-
did
No,
Superman.
I'm telling you, this is when these comic book movies didn't follow the comic books. They just took the characters and just made shit happen. It was
Okay.
bad.
I mean, Catwoman is
as-
on there too.
Catwoman is on this list. Catwoman has to be the
This
worst
is
in this line.
unfair.
And I've never even seen Superman 3.
This row is unfair because it's like the all-star game of travesties in
Hey,
movies. Like,
Hey,
oof.
I mean,
Oh my god,
here's
Ghost
the deal.
Rider it should have been so much better.
Here's the deal. At least with Superman 3 and Catwoman being on the same row, I mean, there's an easy qualification for this. One has Halle Berry in it. One does not. So
Yeah.
I guess that's at least like helping the case. It's not good.
Catwoman was so bad, it makes you forget Halle Berry is sexy. That's how bad the movie was.
It's bad.
Wasn't that like was that
Yeah.
right before the Bond movie, or was that right afterwards? Like, I
This
don't know.
was
This was
This was
before.
before
Yeah.
Bond movie, I think.
God, man, but Green Lantern's really fucking bad. Really bad. You know, that movie's really bad, but no, I'm gonna take
Like the special effects are horrible, but that's not. And then next row, Daredevil, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which I didn't mind. Batman vs Superman, Elektra, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Stop the fucking tape. I just watched Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and
I watched it with
Thunder's
Big
on this?
Mac.
Yeah, somebody's just being
Granted,
stupid.
It wasn't amazing, right? But it wasn't bad
No.
by no means.
Elektra wins here or loses. I don't know how we frame this. Elektra is bad. Daredevil's really bad too, but Elektra is
But
bad.
Elektra's worse.
Yeah,
100%.
Elektra's really bad. Like Batman and Superman was bad, but at least there were spots of decency in there. Elektra's just bad.
Yep.
Yeah,
And Venom's
Elektra's
not that bad.
great.
Like Venom was bad. It wasn't great, but yeah, Elektra or Jennifer
No.
Gardner, no thank you.
The first Venom was really funny. This one it kind of missed a little bit, but it wasn't horrible.
And Batman versus Superman really just led to Henry Cavill being like, wait, fuck this shit. I'm going to go do The Witcher. So, like, we got something redeemable out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Batman vs Superman was also horrible. Fuck. And then last row, X-Men Origins Wolverine. You could have put like 8 X-Men movies on here
Yeah.
because there's some really shitty X-Men movies. Ghost Rider, the original. So Nicolas Cage is just shitty in all movies, I guess.
Not in all movies.
That is not true.
That is
a
not true.
Very
Nick-
untrue statement.
Yeah.
No, I mean in all the comic book movies.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, not in all movies. No, because
we
Nicolas
will
Cage
not.
is
We
the
will not
fucking
accept
Face-Off.
Nick. We will not take Nicolas Cage
Yeah.
slander on this podcast.
No, we won't.
No. Face Off was my shit. Fantastic Four, Suicide Squad,
Yeah, the one
and
Will
the
Smith.
Hulk.
And
Okay.
to
Yeah,
be
the
clear,
Will
this
Smith
Fantastic Four is the Michael B. Jordan one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
And this one does suck.
That one does suck.
Ooh, God, X-Men.
That's worse than Ghost Rider.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Fantastic Four. Wait. Which Hulk is this? Which one is this?
That's the
Edward
one with
Norton?
Edward Norton. Yeah.
Oh,
Edward
no.
Norton's Hulk.
I'm fine with this one. Oh,
At least I think it was Edward.
because it's Eric Bana and there was Edward Norton. There's 2 of them.
Oh, that's
It's
okay.
the comic book one with the comic book strips. where like the giant fucking dogs came to life. And like this is 2003 Hulk.
It's so funny because these Hulk movies were so bad that they never fit into the Marvel canon. They were like in none of the
Was
phases.
that the one that was done by Ang Lee? Wasn't
Oh no, this is the Eric
Eric
Bana.
Bana one.
Okay.
That one sucks.
2003.
That one is not good.
It sucks. Is that there's not enough Hulk in that, right? Is that a lot of Eric Bana just like walking around talking and shit? I don't remember because it sucked.
No. The other one is a lot of Ed Norton.
Well, guess what?
Around.
It's not the worst on this list. It's between Fantastic Four and Ghost Rider.
This shit is pretty bad because they cut into comic book strips, and it didn't look cool. So like you had shit happening in this part of the strip, and then down here, and then
it's so bad I don't remember it.
Well, then that's a redeemable quality for the sake of this list. Suicide Squad was just shitty because it had no villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
No, and the Joker in that was fucking atrocious.
Maybe I have to go Ghost Rider here because my hopes were high for Ghost Rider and it ended up sucking.
Even Mendez is just so sexy though.
Well, I'm not judging a movie on how sexy because then Catwoman would have won.
No, it was that bad though. It was that bad.
That Fantastic Four movie was also really bad.
It was shitty. At least we had a black Human Torch, so I won't put that at the bottom, man. That it just pissed people off, which I enjoyed watching the timeline go crazy. I can't believe you made a fictional character black. Really?
I mean, they could have at least made Sue black as well. Like then it just got convoluted. Then they had to be adopted. Then that's why their brother and sister.
Why is
a lot going on?
Why isn't Rise of the Silver Surfer on this list? That movie sucked.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
If you're gonna put Venom, Let There Be Carnage on here, the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, because again, big Silver Surfer fan, reading comics as a kid, and we know how powerful Silver Surfer was, and that movie was just stupid.
Yo, X-Men Apocalypse not being on this list
that's a crime.
It's crazy. Apocalypse looked horrible in that fucking movie.
Yeah,
they had like CGI breaks that like just didn't work correctly. There was too much time travel.
Just give me Ghost Rider. Just that's the word.
Ghost Rider. But that comes down to say, and I know Dre's, but Cole, you never got your take on this. What is your go-to superhero movie / comic book movie? I know Dre's is damn near mine, but there's always a loophole of it. Is this it's a comic book movie, not superhero?
Yeah, they're different.
Because then we get into like, do graphic novels count? Blah blah blah.
Right.
But I think me and Dre agree. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like the best.
Oh well, yeah.
Anytime it comes on.
Every time, it never gets old.
Yeah, I guess like immediately my brain went to like just like strictly superhero, but like Scott Pilgrim is
so funny.
Scott Pilgrim's really good. It's really good.
So good.
I mean, I guess like in the traditional like superhero movies that are like out, if like Guardians of the Galaxy is on, like that's a good. I think that's just like a quality all around movie, and like everybody's good in it. Although,
very
like,
enjoyable.
Chris Pratt's stock has only gone down as time has gone on, but you know,
you think
Dave Bautista
he's
is still
making
good.
dough off of the?
Oh, he's totally making dough. I just don't.
Of Jurassic Park.
I think he's just a little less likable than he was then, because right after that he was coming off of Parks and Rec and everything, and like
he lost the weight, got a six-pack.
He was like the most likable dude, and now like everyone's like, I'm not sure about Chris Pratt. But
you know what the brilliance is of Scott Pilgrim versus the World is, like, if you go back, every time you go back and watch it, you go, damn, Chris Evans was in this shit. Damn, Kieran Culkin was in this shit.
Yeah.
Damn, Brie Larson's in this shit. Aubrey Plaza's in this movie. Like, this movie is loaded with talent. And when it first came out, it was like, oh, it's Michael Cera from Superbad. It was like, all right, everybody tuned in for Michael Cera, and it was great. But then you were just like, as time went on, it was like they loaded this cast up, and everybody was great in there. Everybody, Anna Kendrick's in there. Like, yo, it is loaded.
Oh, Anna Kendrick is his sister.
Yep,
I forgot about that.
Yep, and Kieran Culkin being his roommate. Like,
roommate? Oh my God, being the gay roommate and then like seducing like the boyfriend. Oh, Kieran Culkin was the best.
It's so good.
I've watched a YouTube on how everyone, like, the theory that everyone in it has a superpower. So like Scott Pilgrim's not the only one with powers. Everyone in there has powers, and they explain like Kieran Culkin's ability to like time travel, and the shit's incredible. Like
Love
he's
this
pretty
movie.
much like, yo, like he just teleports like from place to place. Be like, yo, he really did teleport in this movie.
How
And
did he
then
get from point A to point B so quickly?
So quickly.
oh, Scott Pilgrim's sister has like super hearing. So that's how like she knows everything and like knows all the gossip. And like knows where like Scott's gonna be like she has super hearing. The one girl who like it bleeps out all the curse words. Like that's like a superpower. Like the barista chick, who is hilarious as well. So like I was like, yo, that's some real shit.
I
And
gotta,
they're
I
like,
gotta, or I'm sorry, keep going, keep going.
no, like Envy Adam. Like Envy has like she brainwashes people when she sings. And that's why, like, that's her thing. And like, so it's all everyone has a superpower. And I was just like, yo, my mind is fucking blown right now.
Here's a good question. So, what is like a comic book movie or superhero movie? I'll put both categories in there. That's like that is panned by a lot of people, or maybe critics didn't like it, but you guys both like will enjoy. Almost like it doesn't have to be a guilty pleasure, but is there a movie that like people are like, man, this stinks, and I'm like, nah, it's actually like kind of okay. I'm all right with it.
That's tough.
The reason I bring that
because
up is because I just came across a list that had the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on it, and
I
that
love the
movie's
League of Extraordinary
not,
Gentlemen.
it's not great, but it's
No,
totally
it's not
watchable.
bad.
It's
That's
totally
Sean
fine.
Connery, man.
I think it's because it's Sean
Fucking
Connery's
Sean
last.
Connery.
It's his last movie,
Yeah.
and like that was like his like, ooh, that's my song. Like, okay, sure, but like, is it that bad? No,
No, it's Sean Connery.
it's totally
And
watchable.
I loved every book that was part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, I was a super reading book nerd. Like, all that shit was like on Wishbone, and I would go to like the library and like rent out these books that I had no business reading in like fourth grade. So yeah, they all like intermingled. Yeah, I love that shit. The story, The Portrait of Dorian Gray, is one of my favorite stories of all time, and for that to be in there and like for him to be whooping ass, yeah, even though they made him like an op, which kind of sucked, but still my favorite
I'm not
story of
saying
all
it's
time.
perfect. It ain't perfect, but it's
Yeah,
always
they
on the
did my
list
boy.
of like, it's like
did my
always on the
boy
list of like,
Grimy.
it's the worst, and I'm like, is it?
No,
I've seen worse.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
don't
the
know.
worst.
Like, no, I'll watch that if that's on. Hands down, I'm watching that. I mean, I don't know. I would go in reverse. People really like the Michael Keaton Batman joint with like the Penguin and blah blah. Like I try to rewatch it. That one's horrible.
No, but see, the problem with a lot of those movies is once special effects came into play, it's like it's really hard to go back and watch them if they're not good too. Like if
Yeah, like Danny
what?
DeVito was whacking that.
I liked him as
Uh,
Penguin.
Catwoman was Michelle Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer was it like the storyline of that was horrible. Batman and Robin saved that shit. If not, we'd be crushing that like we crushed Batman and Robin.
That's true.
The Val Kilmer
So
Batman
that
also
one's
also falls under a category of maybe not as well liked, but goddamn that goddamn soundtrack.
Did that have
Sound-
Seal?
That did have baby. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's from Rose.
That shit was everywhere.
had that U2 song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that movie. That movie is
90 soundtracks, man.
It's
Soundtrack.
super 90s, 100%. Jim Carrey is the Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones is Two Face.
They loaded up with talent. That's for damn sure.
Yes,
They
did.
cut a lot of checks.
Yeah. None of that shit was good. Cause then you watch the Dark Knight trilogy and it's just like, yeah, like, no, all those shits were whack. Like Christian Bale is Batman. So yeah, no, like outside of that, I don't know. Leader Story Gentleman is a good one. I mean, are there other movies people just think are horrible? Like nothing on that list, what I say is like redeemable, right? So we just did 20. None of these would make my cut of like, yo, you know what? That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, they missed a lot of movies, and like Superman 4 is actually worse than Superman 3, if you can believe that shit. It's
That sounds horrible.
it's
Uh,
really. I think it's the Last Hope. It's really fucking bad.
oh
But
my god. There's like I could watch the first X-Men movie. People don't like it. Like I could watch that shit. Like if I had to, like it was cheesy, but I didn't think it's as bad as other people thought, especially with the other X-Men films coming after it. I was like, all right, it's cool. First X-Men movie doesn't bother me. So that's one where people like just hate that shit. I'm like, no, I could watch it. Only thing that bothers me is Rogue can't fly.
it's a big deal.
Yeah, but I guess they had no IP for Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel or any. So where the fuck she gonna learn how to fly? What, like, whose power she's gonna absorb? So they had to make Rogue whack. And there's no Gambit.
No Gambit is always
it's always an issue.
that is always an issue.
Yes,
My
that's.
brother's favorite X-Men.
But they had Sentinels, man. They were fighting Sentinels. You got me. When Wolverine live action claws off a Sentinel's head, damn it, I'm intrigued. So I can watch like an X-Men. I can't wait until Marvel releases a new X-Men film.
Yeah.
I'll buy tickets 3 months in advance. I don't care. That's gonna be my shit.
There's a Wolverine game coming out. Interested to see how that goes.
Yes, there is.
Dre doesn't need any more games.
I don't,
Like,
but I will buy it.
No, this guy got a problem. But no, yeah, that's a good question, Cole. But I think you nailed it. You're starting to eat gentlemen is my shit. I can watch that all the time.
Chime in, audience, please.
And the
let
tweet,
us know. Please,
yes.
please fill the corner timeline with like some really whack movies that you like, and then we'll all go, what?
I mean, I feel
Or,
like people
yes.
are gonna really dislike me for saying Blank Man. Because I mean, there's a lot of people who like
Yes.
Blank Man. That shit is horrible.
No, it's not. It's not that bad.
It's
It's
not
not
that
really.
good.
It's not really a superhero movie. It's meant to be ridiculous.
Like a satire. I understand. It still didn't hit the mark for me. Oh, you know what, Cole? I found one. And I'm not sure if people dislike it. It just doesn't get the props it deserves. Sky High. They came out on Disney Channel. Impeccable superhero movie. I can watch Sky High every time it comes on. Love Sky High.
I don't.
You
know
never
that
watched
one.
Sky High.
No.
You go. I think it's on Disney Plus. If you need a login, I'll give it to you. It's
courtesy of the worldwide leader.
It's phenomenal. Sky High is a great superhero movie. Like teenagers in there, it's very dope. So that gets my vote.
Is it Sky High because they're in high school?
They are, and they're high school.
Yes.
All right,
It's
that's
in
enough.
the sky. It's super dope. So let's hit the break. When we come back, let's actually talk MMA. That's what we're here to talk. We had a superhero-like effort from the main event. It's going to be wild to talk about. So much ramifications now because of that fight. Let's hit the break, come back. We're talking UFC 278 right after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, just that quick. We are back to talk MMA. Dre sent over the cover of this Fantastic Four movie from 1993. And he may be right. I don't even got to watch the movie. This might be the worst superhero movie of all time.
Told you.
So I got to put some respect on Christopher Reeve's name. You got to put some respect on Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. All this shit. Like, nothing looks worse than that movie cover. And a screenshot of Dr. Doom. Let me know all I needed to know about that film. So, yeah, make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what your worst superhero movies are and a bad one that you think is pretty dope. So, can't wait to see what you guys say. Now, let's dive into the UFC 278. We're not working top to bottom, Dre. But we'll start Jose Aldo versus Murab. I picked Aldo to win this.
So did I.
The fight was very evenly matched.
Mm-hmm.
Very well could have went his way. For the first time, I'd say in like 3-4 fights, we saw stubborn Aldo again. The key to Jose Aldo is pretty simple. You want to win, kick the other man's leg off. This is your go-to weapon. You spam that shit like when people pick Blanca in Street Fighter. You know what they're going to do. There's only one move. spam the fucking leg kicks. And that's to say, if anyone plays the original Street Fighter on Super Nintendo, that shit is hard as fuck. I don't know how I beat that as a kid. I played this in the airport not too long ago, got my ass whooped in LAX. I spent $15 to get my ass whooped in that game. Stupid hard. Dalsim is level 3. Can't beat that motherfucker. The long limbs, impossible. But again, Aldo should be the same type. Spam your leg kicks, sir. He didn't throw enough leg kicks. Murab was able to control him, make it ugly, take him down a couple times, and take this win. And Murab, after the fight, says him and Jose Aldo, they shared a moment. You can see it in the octagon. Aldo said, man, I was just going for one more title run. Like, it's over. So we might have a retired Jose Aldo.
This is frustrating. Jose Aldo is he might be one of the most frustrating MMA fighters of all time because the talent's there. He's got the skills and ability. He just, for whatever reason, refuses to use it. So when he fights Murab, he threw one leg kick about a minute into the fight. And I think DC popped on the commentary. Oh, there's a leg kick. Little did DC know that's the last leg kick you were seeing that night. I don't know what's wrong with Jose Aldo. You're fighting a guy who is going to he eventually was going to wrestle you, even though Murab is a striker by nature that uses his wrestling. I don't know what sense it made, especially going into the third round when you know you haven't done anything yet. Why aren't you throwing punches? Why aren't you throwing kicks? Why aren't you doing anything? Maybe this means it's time for Jose Aldo to retire. Because if you can't pull the trigger in a fight where it wasn't like you were getting overwhelmed, there was space, range, and opportunity for you to throw leg kicks, throw any kind of strike, do your thing. Like Murab struggled to take you down. You had every advantage to win that fight, and you lost because you didn't do shit.
The official stats say Murab went 0 for 16 in takedowns.
You should win a fight that somebody goes 0 for 16 on takedowns. 16.
But how much? Okay, if takedowns, this is what I hate MMA judging with a passion. If takedowns count and people claim one takedown and relatively take a round, right? Stuffing 5 takedowns a round should count for something. Your takedown defense should count damn near equally to someone landing a takedown.
No, because do you judge somebody that makes somebody miss a bunch of punches in boxing?
Yeah.
They have to do something back. You have to counter, right?
You gotta do something back.
You gotta make them pay. And
but it does look very impressive. Like Pernell Whitaker making De La Hoya miss a ton. Look very impressive.
It looks good when you make somebody miss, but if you don't do anything with it, what's the point? So it's like in the case of Jose Aldo, like you stuffed all those takedowns, but you did nothing with them. And when I say nothing, I mean literally nothing. He sat there and just stared at a man for 15 minutes. And was like, here, you want to try to take me down? Haha, that didn't work. Murab was like, is he going to do anything about this? And he did nothing. I'm done with Jose Aldo. I'm done.
Jose tried to fight like Floyd. The numbers are crazy. Only threw 92 punches, or total strikes. So 30 strikes around. But landed 64% of his total strikes. Significant strikes landed 57% in this fight.
It makes it more frustrating. This is a man who just didn't pull the trigger. It's like his performance was so bad that you can make the argument like, who paid Jose Aldo to lose that fight? No. That's how bad it was. Like he had again, it wasn't like he was being overwhelmed in the striking department. It wasn't like Murab was taking him down. There was no area that you saw Murab had like such a significant advantage on. It was just Jose Aldo standing there doing nothing. Go ahead, you can retire, Jose. I don't need to see this shit anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Murab was smart. He's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill this guy with volume.
Sure. I'm done with Jose.
Yeah, I would love to see him fight again. Again, I think he could work his way to a title shot. He's that good still. But don't fight if you ain't gonna leg kick.
Don't fight if you don't show up. Like, why did you even show up? Why did you waste a good Rihanna, Kanye West, and Jay-Z song for your entrance if you ain't gonna run this town? He ran nothing.
Damn, I love that entrance. That's the saddest thing. When fighters retire and I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna see this entrance anymore.
Yeah.
Like DC entrance, super cool. I ain't seen John Jones entrance in 3 years. I don't get the Silva. Well, Anderson Silva still comes out to it in boxing, so occasionally I see it. But yeah, it's damn shame you don't get to see a good entrance when
There was
someone
also
retires.
a lot of woe is me content after the fight too of Jose Aldo, of just like a lot of him just being disappointed in the back and all this. Is like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yo, I don't have any sympathy for somebody who stands in the batter's box and gets struck out on looking every single time and then goes, God damn, the homestand, the strike zone was crazy. You didn't swing at a fucking pitch. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's true. No, that's 100. Well, it's his own doing. And maybe, you know what? Maybe, I mean, he's not old in terms of age, but he is old in terms of time inside of an octagon. Maybe the body just doesn't fire as much anymore. Maybe he can't work at that volume anymore. And he was just like, fuck, man, like the body ain't doing what the mind wants it to do. It's time to go. So it might be the last time we see Jose Aldo. Hopefully not. If he does want to retire, I would hope he takes one more fight. I don't care who it's against. But the UFC is trying to go to Brazil again at some point. I don't know if it's the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I would love to see him finish his career in Brazil.
Sure.
Let him get that hero's send off. Dre doesn't even care.
I don't even care.
Co-main event: Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold.
Either
Provided.
Wait, hold on. This is either the best worst fight I've ever seen in my life, or the worst best fight I've ever seen in my life. Oh boy,
it provided one of my favorite moments of the year. Luke Rockhold going full crimson mask, just fucking rubbing it on Paulo Costa. And Costa's just like, I have no clue what to do in this moment. And he's just rubbing the blood all over Costa. Man, it's money. The man should have won just off of that. I don't know how you score that, but somehow that has to be octagon control.
If I'm Paulo Costa, you should be so embarrassed by letting this man make it to the final bell. Like you will, like Luke Rockhold had his hands on his knees in the first 4 minutes of the fight.
He did.
Like, you know, we had a lot of questions about Rockhold going into this fight. Does he still, you know, can he take a punch? The question we didn't ask is like, can he fight? He can't even make it. Like he was blown up 4 minutes into the fight, and Paulo Costa didn't take advantage of it. And I don't want to hear anybody say, well, he felt bad for it. No. He just sat there. And then he let Rockhold like land a few shots here and there. Like there was like a straight left hand in the second round. And like Luke got excited real quick. He was like, ooh. And then he did nothing. And they shouldn't let DC do commentary for any of his old teammates. You can't.
Oh, now he can't separate.
Well, it's not even that. I feel bad for DC because that is your friend in the octagon, right? Like that is somebody that you've known. Like the original AKA is all gone, right? Like all those guys are done. But that was somebody that you rode shotgun with for a lot of your career. And to have to call his fight and he looked like that had to be impossible to do. I felt bad for DC having to call that fight. They should have called Paul Felder, got him out there for that fight. But this fight was awful. But I'm like, yo, how is Luke still here? He was dead after 5 minutes. On the stool between rounds, he was cooked.
He showed his toughness. I mean, he took a really good ass whooping. There's an art to that.
Yeah, congratulations, you got your ass whooped.
There's an art to being able to take a really good ass whooping.
Like you think people pull up on him on the street and be like, "Hey, Luke, good job taking that ass whooping." He's like, "Thank you." Like that, they don't do that. But again, it's one of those things where Rockhold hadn't fought in a while. Like Rockhold, well, most of us considered that he was done. You know, after getting knocked out to the moon by Romero, Michael Bisping, we thought, "Oh, it's probably over for you." Heading into this fight, most of us thought he's going to blow your face up. The fight's going to be over. So the fact that Rockhold made it to the final bell is kind of a credit to him. But it's Paulo Costa the one I'm worried about. Like you should drop in the rankings from that performance because how did you not finish this guy?
Yeah, everyone else is finished, man. Is Luke Rockhold probably? He has to be top 3 what ifs, right? Like in MMA, like just people thought he was that guy.
No,
people thought he would be. People thought he would be what Adesanya is.
Yeah, but he's not top 3. At least he won the title, right? In a great performance against Chris Weidman, where he just destroyed him. Now he let it all get to his head.
Getting wrecked by Bisping.
Yeah, which is
It's
bad.
tough.
Don't get me wrong, but when you talk about like the what ifs of MMA, Uriah Hall, because Uriah was that guy after the Ultimate Fighter. They compared him to
Motherfucker just
Anderson Silva.
refused to pull the trigger. Yeah,
Right.
refused to pull the trigger.
You got Uriah Hall. You got this isn't even like really a what if. This was like they hoped and it didn't work out. Sage Northcutt.
Yes.
Because they put everything on Sage Northcutt. Um, who else is there? Who else is there? Not
And
Rocky.
Kane without the knee injuries.
Yeah, Kane without the knee injuries is a what if because you would think he would still dominate the division. Because if he didn't get hurt, DC would have never went up to heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had a 4-year run, which is hard to predict at heavyweight, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say like even a prime Cain Velasquez doesn't get his face taken off by Francis Ngannou. Like that could have went the exact same way. But also cardio King, fucking nah. Like no one was messing with that King because he was like a Habib. They have very similar styles. Like
Yeah.
healthy Kane was like Habib, where it's like, yo, he's just gonna take me to the ground for 5 rounds and drown me. And if I stand up with him, he's still gonna pepper me enough that it's like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Yeah. I mean, but Rockhold is up there in terms of like he never realized his full potential. He was a guy that even coming out of Strikeforce, people were like, well, he could probably beat Anderson Silva. Like he was pegged as a guy before Weidman was.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just injuries and that losing the title and he
The
just
chin
didn't
never
reach that.
recovers.
Yeah, you know, guys like him, Henan Barrow, Uriah Faber came too
Oh
late.
well, Henan Barrow is a different case.
I mean, he was the
Henan
man.
Barrow's, yeah, his decline coinciding the beginning of USADA cannot be that much of a coincidence.
No, it can't be.
USADA came in and just straight 10-8'd Henan Barrow's entire career. Like USADA was like, dung, 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 and Henan Barrow was like, oh, I guess it's time for me to lose every fight.
Yeah, so I want to put Rockhold all the way up there. Like one of the other great what ifs in MMA is like, what if Fedor made it to the UFC? What would have happened? We will never know. That is one of the most this crazy story because the arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time. The reason why people won't call him the greatest heavyweight of all time is because he didn't fight in the UFC. No
Yep.
matter whose ass he kicked in Pride, it didn't matter because he didn't fight in the UFC, and we never got Fedor versus Brock Lesnar.
That's the greatest one. That would have done insane numbers.
Oh hell yeah,
just insane. Oh my god. So yeah, Fedor would have killed Brock. Brock had no stand up. So that
monster though.
Literally. He was, but that I mean he would have kicked his face off. So all right. Luke Rockhold does retire in the octagon. Takes the gloves off. It puts him down. I was on like CBS Sports Radio like last week. I was like, "Yep, I think Rockhold's going to retire." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yep, this is where he puts the glove down." It's becoming like a trend. If you fought in Strikeforce or WEC, at this point, the countdown is just to your next loss, and you're out of here.
Yeah.
So you're only fighting until your next ass whooping, and then your gloves are coming off. And which is understandable because that was 15 years ago. Like you've had a damn long career. So Rockhold to be in Strikeforce, to have all that promise and everything. The man had 22 fights in his career.
Yeah. Ooh, I got there's one more what if in MMA, specifically the UFC. Who was the ref that night? Oh my god, I can't remember. Was it Josh? What if Shane Carwin had beat Brock Lesnar that night? UFC 116.
Oh, if they would have stopped it before Brock.
That crazy comeback. There are referees that would have stopped that fight.
Oh, hands down. Everyone probably outside of her did, and whoever ref that match.
Yeah.
Like, who would just let someone die.
I mean, that Shane Carwin was murdering people.
Yeah.
Murdering people. Then he got hurt, and then we never heard from him again. He only lost 2 fights. I think the other fight was to Junior Dos Santos, right? Yep. He lost to Junior Dos Santos at 131. Shane Carwin was one of the biggest what ifs because when that fool had lunch boxes for hands. His hands were so big. And he had Brock done. And yeah. So anyway, I had to bring up that guy because that guy was incredible.
I mean, I'll tell you what would have happened. Brock would have probably gotten like 40 million less from the WWE
You're
over the
probably
course
right.
of time if he did not win that fight. So I mean, it changed Brock Lesnar's bank account forever.
Ever, yeah.
So well, that's one hell of a what if. Man, a lot of Brock Lesnar what ifs. He was there for a short time. Lot of what ifs surrounding Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And then main event UFC 278, Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. 56 seconds away from another Usman clinic dominant performance. And Leon Edwards and his team were like, well, we practiced this shit all week, so we might as well try this. His corner goes, throw the kick. You can hear it clear as day on, oh, I think you have the same feed as me.
I do.
So on the non-broadcast feed, clear as day, his corner's throw the kick. Throws one to the body. Throw the kick. Next one, right to the head. Kamaru just circling away, can't stop it. Half blocks it. The other half, right on the chin. Out cold. This, Dre, in the grand scheme of combat sports, has not been a great year for number one pound-for-pound fighters.
No. Not at
Since Usman called out Canelo Alvarez, neither have won. Neither. That big money fight call out may have been the jinx of the year.
It might have been. So
Neither are pound for pound number ones anymore. It's MMA. People get caught.
they do. I mean, we went into this fight and I said it. I don't think anything. Leon Edwards doesn't have anything for Kamaru Usman, and he didn't until he did, which is the story of MMA. So there's a couple things about this fight. One, if I think I wrote this, I tweeted this in the middle of the fight, that I can almost guarantee you that Kamaru Usman, even if he won that fight, was going to go and say this is one of his worst performances because it wasn't great. If you watch the fight, he got taken down, which fucked him up the rest of the fight. Like the fact that he got taken down, like he couldn't get it out of his head.
Made him angry.
And I'm sure he's going to admit to it at some point. But if you watch how he fought that fight, he fought like a man who just he couldn't get what he was winning, but not with a great performance. So like he lost the first round, he got taken down. He didn't do much anything else. The next 3 rounds, he's grinding on Leon Edwards, but he couldn't get the strikes he wanted. He struggled keeping Leon down. It was just a lot of shit that wasn't working, but he was still winning.
Yep.
Which is why I said I don't think there's anything Leon that does that's necessarily better. But then it's the kick, because a good trainer spots it and a good fighter executes.
Yep.
Like Camaro, if you throw the jab lightly, he's gonna duck hard to his right, and he ducked hard to his right when that kick came. I heard people say it was a lucky kick. There was nothing lucky about it.
Nope.
It was, but to me, it was also the equivalent of, and I tweeted this, that Usman was driving home late at night, almost to his driveway, and crashed into a tree right in front of his garage because he was almost there. All he had to do was not get hit in the face with that kick.
Yep.
But it was perfectly executed. But the question that I want to ask, and now that I've had some time to think about it, is this I don't want to say it's the greatest head kick finish. Is it the greatest? Not. What's the greatest head kick finish in a championship fight?
Ronda Rousey get knocked out by Holly Holm.
It is not. Here's why.
Unless we also count the straight kick by Anderson Silva, fucking up Vitor Belfort and making him melt into the octagon mat.
But here's why I won't say Holly Holm Ronda Rousey, because Holly Holm was beating up Ronda Rousey when that head kick came. Like Holly was winning that fight.
She was. That head kick came though. Like there's a difference between pummeling someone with your hands and like peppering them and being like, "Ooh, Ronda's in trouble." To she turned the lights out with that kick. It was in Melbourne in front of like 80,000. And the woman they pegged from when she signed to beat Ronda Rousey. At this point, the unstoppable Ronda Rousey. Can she beat Floyd Mayweather? To head kick her into oblivion? No, it's the greatest head kick finish of all time. Just everything around it. Kamaru's great, right? Number one pound for pound. He was not, and he is not what Ronda Rousey was to the women's division then.
But again, here's the problem with that. Holly Holm was kicking Ronda's ass in that fight.
Of course,
Like-
we heard head movement.
Yeah,
No, that was Amanda.
Yeah, it was Amanda Nunes
I
kicking her
coulda
ass.
go-
But
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey was getting her ass beat. So it was like between the bells, we saw Holly Holm running away with that fight. Like as soon as the fight started, it wasn't about 15 seconds in the fight. We were like, oh, Ronda's fucked. Like she can't get her hands on her. She was getting pieced up. Dude, Holly made her miss and run into the cage. Right?
Yeah.
There was a lot. This Kamaru Usman was dominating the fight. Leon had done nothing.
Since the
And it-
first.
But even the takedown, he didn't do anything with it. He just took him down. That was what we were more shocked about. Kamaru Usman had 100% takedown defense in the UFC. Colby Covington couldn't take him down.
Allegedly, if you ask Colby, he took him down once.
Nobody fucking likes Colby. But the man, but the reason why I call this the best head kick knockout in a championship fight, even better than Valentina Shevchenko killing Jessica Ai. She killed her
Oh
with
my
that head kick.
God.
Even better than Anderson Silva front kicking Vitor Belfort to hell. Even better, like there are some Crow Cop knockouts in Pride that are pretty fucking incredible.
Oh, he was. It's literally death in that
Yes.
leg.
But Leon Edwards was done. Commentary, DC called it. It was a brilliant call. We were writing his obituary
Mhm.
when that head kick came. And when you like Holly Holm followed up with strikes when she hit Ronda. Leon hit him and walked it off. And the visual of Kamaru looking into the skies like dead to the world, looking at God, saying, "Why God?" It's the greatest head kick. Like it's a come from behind knockout, and it came. There was no setup for it in terms of it wasn't like Kamaru was getting pieced. It was a one hitter quitter.
Yeah. It
Like
was
there was no other strikes landed.
that was the last ditch effort.
One kick, no follow up strikes after, nothing before it. 58 seconds left. Like I was literally like, dude, I was watching the fight and I was getting ready to play Candy Crush before I wrote my story because I was like, he's running away with this, and Leon's done nothing this entire fight. And I happened to look up when he landed that kick, and I was like, you got to be kidding. It wasn't even one of those head kicks like when Ronda lost. We were all shocked that Ronda lost more than anything else. Like the head kick, but Holly was just beating her up, and it was like, wow, Holly was just better than her. But even then, if you talk to like a lot of MMA people, they was like, Holly's got a good chance of winning this fight because if it's striking, Ronda's not that good striking.
Yeah.
This was a fight where we were like, we're having a conversation about Kamaru fighting at light heavyweight.
Yep.
And the motherfucker kicked him to death. Murdered him. To me, it's the greatest head kick knockout in the championship fight because of the circumstances surrounding it and how it landed and how Leon just Vince McMahon walked off. Like in the commentary, Joe Rogan losing his mind. Like nobody saw that shit coming at all.
No, it was a great walk. That Holly Holm kick, man. I mean, it changed the course of women's MMA history. Like,
Yeah, it did.
but this was amazing to me. I mean, this was his GSP Matt Serra moment. I think they're gonna run it back. I think Kamaru wins his belt back, and we keep it rolling, right? Like GSP got caught out there slipping once.
Yeah,
Nunez
see,
got caught out there slipping. Everybody get caught out there slipping. Like
that's true.
outside of like Anderson Silva's amazing run. Like somebody go catch him
But he got
slipping.
caught.
I mean, Weidman caught him slipping
Yeah,
before the leg break.
But the difference is like Amanda, you can chalk up to now. You can truly chalk that up to COVID. Like she had nothing.
Yeah, she
for
was,
Jessica
yeah.
for Pena that night. And who else? Like Ronda, like Holly Holm was just a better striker, right? Like she always was. We just thought Ronda was unbeatable because if she got her hands on you, you were done.
I mean, Sarah was better at nothing
But
than GSP.
But see, when GSP ran it against Sarah, like Sarah didn't have a winning. Like Leon Edwards hasn't lost since he lost to Kamaru Usman. Like it's not like Leon Edwards is a bum.
No, he's been doing his thing.
So I wouldn't say it's like that bad. Like it's not outside the realm of possibility that Leon could sleep Kamaru again. Because I don't know if you can necessarily fix those bad habits, especially the fact that Leon picked up and executed on them. I still pick Kamaru to win because I figure
I
Kamaru
mean, it
goes through
still
that.
took the man 24 minutes to execute on that one
That's
to
the
see the
it's
to
the
see
beauty
the
of
one
MMA.
opening.
It's the beauty of MMA. This all you need is one. So it's not. I still pick Kamaru to win because I think Kamaru would not give him that much distance in a rematch.
Yeah.
Right. Because Leon is a very good striker. He just. What was my argument? He has no power. But a shin to face, you don't need any power. Right. You duck into some shit. It's like two cars running into each other. You're gonna die. So I'm not gonna say Leon doesn't have a chance. He's like, it's not Matt Serra GSP. It's not Juliana Pena. This could be a competitive fight. I still pick Kamaru to win, but Leon showed us something, man. Dude, his corner had almost given up on him.
Yeah, everyone lost their shit. Everyone.
But Leon was like, I'm good. I'm all right, guys. Nothing in his face, even though in his face it looked like he had resigned himself and was like, I'm gonna lose. Dean Thomas, right before the knockout, said the same thing.
Was crushing him on commentary.
But to do that and still, after 24 minutes, decide, yeah, I can still throw this kick. It's a different kind of fighter, man. Most fighters just either they go balls to the wall and just lose all the technique, or they resign themselves to defeat and become Jose Aldo and just don't throw a punch. Motherfuckers threw that. That's crazy. Crazy.
How much do you now want to see Nate Diaz win in Vegas?
Oh, that's all I want. Dude, if look, that card sucks. UFC 279 on paper,
it's not great.
Not great. It's like the worst one of the worst pay-per-view cards I've ever seen. Like, what's the co-main event? Tony Ferguson and Li Jingliang at welterweight after Tony Ferguson's been completely washed out at lightweight?
Yes. Why is that officially added to this? But yes.
Like, what else is on this card? Like
Johnny Walker.
Who cares? Johnny Walker, like, didn't Jamal
versus Kutalaba.
Didn't Jamal Hill just kill Johnny Walker?
Yeah, it took his soul. Chris Barnett. We're gonna get the Harlem Shake. We're gonna get some dancing. I love Big Boy Chris.
I do too. But in terms of like, and you know, people say this all the time. Oh, the worst cards end up being the best cards. I don't care about that. This will probably end up being a decent card, right? In terms of action. But if you're trying to sell me this card, I'm saying, hey, guess what? Duadu's fighting on this card. I'm like, so? And I gotta pay for it? They're about to do a fight night with Cyril Gane overseas that's better than this. This card sucks.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, that's a pretty good card.
That's what I'm saying. And that's free.
And I'm looking at it.
And you know what it feels like? It feels like they started booking this card for Vegas, and then Abu Dhabi was like, nope, give us all those fights. You can keep Hamzat and Nate Diaz. We don't want that shit.
And they were going to have another pay-per-view like 2 weeks after Abu Dhabi. And they were like, no. Because that card just ended up too stacked. Like, no, we're not.
It took everything. So yeah, I want Nate Diaz to beat Hamzat. I don't, if he does, oh my God. Like, I want him to win. And again, I want him to do the CM Punk. Jump the guardrail, flip Dana White the finger, and leave. He just destroyed the welterweight division.
I'm rooting for chaos. I don't see it happening, but I'm rooting for chaos.
Either. I didn't see Leon
and I want him to catch I want him to catch Hamzat in like some wild shit. Like Hamzat's like ground and pound. He just throws up the triangle, flips the double bird, and wins. Yeah,
Hamzat goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Man. But that's all I care about now is the chaos. But other than that, it is what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens. That I'm anticipating them running it back unless you get some wild shit from Nate. And Dana just wakes up one day and be like, you know what? No immediate rematch. And he's just like, you know what? Nate had you in trouble. Leon versus Nate. Like, bruh, just do some wild shit.
Think about this though. If Nate were to win, how much would they have to pay Nate to fight Leon Edwards in a title fight?
Stewart amounts, because Nate's the A side.
Right. Unless they go to Wembley.
Amounts.
I mean, unless they go to Wembley, right?
But Nate's still.
But I'm just saying.
But Nate's still the pay-per-view draw.
In terms of like Nate coming to the table and negotiating Nate Diaz, like you put him in a fight to get him killed. Yeah, you put him in a fight to get him killed. And then he comes out the other side and he's like, all right, he's just got a little blood on him. And like you're the UFC and it's like, fuck, what do we do?
Nah,
you pay the man? They ain't gonna pay the man. Just let him walk.
Yeah, there's not a number.
Yo, they probably cut Hamzat. They're like, all right, then you fucked us up.
Damn you, Hamzat. Yeah, no, like Nate would come to the table and be like, "Yo, Jake Paul's going to pay me this. Y'all motherfuckers double it." Like that's what it'd have to be. Like, yeah, no, there's no negotiations. It's like, this is my number. You're going to take it. And then if I beat Leon Edwards for any reason, and we can have this fucking Conor trilogy with a belt in the weight class he's never had, come on. It's your biggest fight ever.
Yes,
That would have to be the Dana White perfect storm.
Yeah.
Like, if he could somehow get Nate Conor 3 for a welterweight title, that might be the day Dana White just lays it down in the octagon. Like, he don't got gloves, but I don't know, he takes off his fucking V-neck or something, lays it in the octagon, and be like, that's it. I'm never doing anything greater than
this. Yeah, takes off his bald head.
By the way, Conor versus Leon Edwards in Wembley would do stupid numbers.
Let's not talk about Conor doing anything until he wins the fight. How about that?
Man, this motherfucker's on a Lambo yacht. Like, I'm not sure if he is fighting.
No.
So, yeah.
You said, oh, he'll be back at the top of January 2022. Yeah?
Yeah, well, listen, we're waiting. it's not looking great. We'll see what Charles Oliveira does. If Charles pulls this one out, I think Conor is the next fight for him because he wants the bag. Oh my God. And one Conor fight per weekend for him, he's living like a king in Brazil for the rest of his life, like 3 generations.
You know what's funny? If you're smart in the UFC, you don't give Charles that fight because he may not come back. Like, no. You can't just start paying everybody. They all leave. It's like, oh, I want the Conor bag. And it's like, you learned when you gave Conor the bag what would happen. So
yeah,
if you're Charles Oliveira, it's like, I want Conor, and people's like, well, give the champion what he wants. It's like, no, you don't. It's way too much. Like, you got to keep your slaves in line, dude. You can't just have the slaves running the field.
Yeah, because you can't give them 10 mil for a Conor fight and then be like, yo, so yeah, you're gonna get 1.5 after this. He's like, but I beat Conor. Yeah, but that's not how it works. Everybody beats Conor.
That's like Dana White learned that you don't have the slave eat dinner in the big house, because then he's just gonna want to come back. He ain't picking no more cotton for you. Fuck you. I ate your steak. So with Charles, it's like, keep picking that cotton. That's it.
Dana just wants Conor to be champ again, man. Just wants to print some money.
I don't know if he does.
I mean, it's tough. You're paying a lot of money, but you're printing money.
Yeah, but it's not like they're losing money now, right? Like, if I give credit where credit's due, obviously. It's like, this Hamza Diaz card sucks. It'll probably still do well on pay-per-view. And it's like,
do great on pay-per-view.
Right. So how much more is the juice worth the squeeze? All you have to deal with Conor McGregor? Because
the difference between a 500K pay-per-view and a 1.5 million pay-per-view is astronomically different. They're $80 a pop now. It's astronomically different.
But how much do you have to pay Conor for that?
You gotta put paradigm on the. I mean, you got to put proper whiskey on the canvas. You got to get real creative to give Conor his 40 mil. But even then, you're probably making out like a bandit.
No, I don't know. I don't know if
Conor, I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I ain't crunching numbers, but your sponsorship, the amount of people that want to sponsor that card goes through the roof. The fighters get none of that shit. Your TV spots, the promotion, everything else through the roof. You'll make it back.
I'm not saying you won't make it back. I'm just saying you don't need them. Like, your business will be fine without Conor McGregor. They proved it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still great. Like, boxing is fine without Floyd Mayweather. This motherfucker comes back and fights Jake Paul tomorrow.
Yeah, but he's his own
going to be big.
Nobody has to pay Floyd, but Floyd figures out what he's getting paid. Dana actually has to go into his coffers and be like, all right, Conor, here's $50 million. And now we got to kind of figure out a way to recoup all this because you're raping us. And now the guy that you're going to fight is going to ask for the biggest payday of his life. And how many pay-per-views are we actually going to get out of this? Because Conor's lost what? Poirier? Well, he beat Cerrone. So he lost 2 to Poirier.
Poirier twice.
And then Khabib. So he's only won one fight in what, like 6-7 years?
5 years.
So you put him in there and he asked for 40 million. Motherfucker, you don't win.
He sells. It's all about selling, baby.
He sells enough.
On
I
that,
could live without that headache.
we'll see. I'm not sure Dana can. It's definitely like Connor's like the dangerous girl. Dana's like, man, I shouldn't be dating her, but I want to. Like it's that thing. He can't stay away. He can't. So we'll see how this all leads. So many different roads can happen because of this one fight. Man, it's been one hell of an MMA show. We appreciate you all for listening. Love having producer Cole Bay back on the boards from Los Angeles, enjoying the nice weather. It's not 100 degrees. Look at that hair. It's marvelous. Marvelous when it gets some of that ocean mist in it. So we appreciate you all. You guys can find us on social media at Corner Podcast _ on Twitter, at Corner Club for Life on Instagram, me at Kel Dansby, him at Andreas Hale on everything. Shout out to Blue Wire. We'll be back in the studio later this week for pro wrestling. But in the meantime, also check out our boxing show that drops before them. We appreciate you all. Stay safe. Don't catch the weird pox that break out your whole fucking mouth, make you look all crazy. Until next time, we're out.
Peace.
On the